Let me get this thing set up here. No. There we go. All right, everybody. So just got done with the workout. You can see I'm dripping sweat. I've always been like really sweaty. But today was like, honestly, when self-reflecting and self-analyzing for my work day, it was not that great. I think I could have got more done. I had some misfortunate things happen, but as always, every day, for the most part, every time you're going to be improving or trying to do better, there's going to be some type of a misfortunate event happen or multiple, and it's just more so what you control within your actions than what actually happened to you that matters more, in my opinion. And I think that applies to everybody. You know, you can only control what it is that you do to the scenario that happened, especially the uncontrollable and the inevitable. And today, not to get too personal or anything, but I had to let a couple people go within my business there, 3 of my employees. And, you know, a lot of them were good people as individuals. And, you know, I liked them as individuals. But at the same time, too, it was a storm of things that were happening. More so just the work. There's a lot of work, but a lot of work can only work if enough of all the people are getting what they need to get done. And so I ended up having to let go of 3 of them. And yeah, it was a little bit tough, and it was my first time actually letting anybody go. And so it was a bit of a difficult experience, and I'm still navigating on how to do it fully here, properly. But I did hire on one individual who seems really promising, and I'm excited to go out in the field with them and teach them the ways of work and what I do, and really just working hard and making sure things are getting done. On a personal level, I think today I did pretty all right. I mean, my eating was really good. I ate good amount of protein. I didn't hit my exact protein goal, but that happens, you know. But I ate a decent amount of protein, ate really healthy, and overall just feel really good. I ate good fats and good carbs, and it showed out in my workout. You know, I had my injured knee and I was working out and my leg was shaking a little bit, but, you know, I pushed through it. I did it a little bit of a lighter workout for my first leg day in a while. And I got a lot of cardio in too. A lot of the treadmill. I do a 3.5 incline at 3.5 speed for walking for a while, and then I did some jogging too at that 3.5 incline. But overall, I think pretty good. On a spirituality level, I didn't do anything, which, as the purpose of this is to self-reflect, I should be doing more on that and looking more into God and learning about Him. And I think I should find more of an interest in doing so. I think there's a lot of interesting things in the Bible that you can learn, lessons, philosophy, you know, stuff like that. And I think why the Bible is so good beyond the connection to God is that every time you have an issue, it has some type of a metaphor or a chapter or, you know, a book, I guess not a chapter, but a book, an excerpt that can relate to that challenge you're having in life. And so I need to start looking out into the Bible and researching it more to find those things for guidance, because wisdom is only learned through experience, and I lack wisdom and experience because I'm young. And so it's good to look for that. For though, you know, in the Bible is a really good place to find wisdom. Not to say that everything in the Bible that would give you wisdom came from people who, you know, are older, lived more life per se, but they lived different experiences, and a lot of them were more knowledgeable on spirituality, and I lack the experience and the wisdom of spirituality and my own personal life too. And so I have to look for resources that can teach me those things. But anyways, it was kind of a shorter one today with this, with the self-reflection. But nonetheless, I give today a 6 out of 10. You know, even though I did good with my eating and I did good and I got a workout in, I still could have done more with work, and I think could have performed better overall during the day. But that to be said, you know, I know a lot of other people out there feel the same way, where every day you're not always going to hit your exact goal or your exact marks in every category of self-improvement, but it's still important to keep going and keep doing, because just because you fall short one day doesn't mean the next day you can't make up for it. And I don't want it to be a discouragement to myself that I didn't do well today for work. I think it's one of those things of self-reflection, and as I've said the past 2 episodes of this self-journey of actionability, to be actionable and pursue action on the stuff I'm self-reflecting and not doing well during work today. But yeah, and I think as well too, I've never actually really shared my total goals with this, and so I'm going to do so now, at least my current goals. And I think it's important to have an absolute exact understanding of what you want in life, because it's really hard to get anywhere when you don't have a destination. It's like, imagine going in your car and wanting to go get groceries, or that's a terrible example. If you wanted to get anywhere but you didn't have a destination, then it's just like, where are you going in the first place? You're going nowhere. So I think one of my biggest goals right now for my weight is I want to get down to 180 to 190 pounds at like a 15% body fat, maybe a little bit less, like a 13% body fat would be ideal. That's going to take a long time though, like a really long time. As well too, with strength in that, I want to become stronger, and more so mobility is important, and all the other things, in general health too, just improving general health and my cardio, my feeling when I wake up. I want to feel energized every time I wake up, and I think something that would help with that is working out and getting more fit, and better quality sleep are really important. Another goal in another facet of life is business, and that ties into wealth. But I think when you focus on just the money, you don't really go anywhere. But when you focus on the goal and achieving it within a business or your career or whatever it may be, and you get lost in that and really doing that, and like, what's next? What's the next goal? How can I achieve it? Performing at my best performance every day, the money comes when you do that. And so I'm never going to talk specifically about this is how much money I want in my bank account, because it's really not about that. It's more so, this is how well I want to get things done. This is how large I want my company to be. This is how good I want my company to function. And so with my business, my goal one day is I would like to become the largest utility construction company in the country. Would be really cool. That's a really big goal to have. And my first thing I need to shoot for is, to become the largest in my area, then the largest in my state, and maybe one day the largest in the country. But I know for sure I can get to that point one day. It's going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort. I do have a lot of good resources, a lot of people I can look to for wisdom. And moreover, even the Bible, I think, would help me do that as well, and finding my spirituality. And that's a really good strength that not a lot of these other companies and these leaders, these companies have, is a strong spiritual connection to God. And I think that'll aid me in my journey and my goal within my business, and just to do good work and to build a strong community within my business is a really important thing as well. And everybody there, they're achievers, and they want to be excellent is really important as well. And weeding those people out who don't want to be that way, and hiring on new people to then train them to see if they can be that way, can be a long, exhausting process, but it takes time, and that's just the inevitability of running a business. And another thing too in my life would be the spirituality aspect, as I touched on a little bit ago here in this video. But I want to become closer to God and closer to the Bible, and moreover, just learn more about Christianity and the history of it, and what are the roots of it, and what does the Bible say, and what do these excerpts actually mean in the Bible? Because there's a lot of interpretation, and the only way to find the proper interpretations, or what they actually are trying to convey and what message, is through that research and that deeper understanding of God. And yeah, that's overall all my goals, and I think slowly I'm going to achieve them. I'm going to try my hardest to go as fast as possible, but I need to make sure I'm doing the right things at the same time. And yeah, that's everything for today's self journey, day number 4. I'm going to continue to do these all raw, uncut footage. I just don't find the need to edit them, at least right now. Maybe when I find more time to do so, I will, or when I'm further along in the journey and I'm more impressed with my progress, I think is when I'll spend a little bit more time making it more flashy and more cool and more attention driven. But right now I want to keep it as natural as possible, because that's what it is. It's just natural. Everything I'm doing is natural, and it's natural to me, and I want it to be authentic and raw. There's no point for editing all this stuff up. So that's my thought process on it. I don't know if you guys have a difference of opinion, let me know. But anyways, with that being said, I'm going to close this out. Thank you guys very much. If anybody's watching this, I know I'll be watching this one day myself. Goodbye.